Happy writing time, guys. I hope you are getting through your work quickly today because I think it's going to be beautiful outside so you can go outside and play. So far this week with our writing for our realistic fiction, we've already done two things. We brainstormed and you made your little story map. You have your characters, your setting, your problem, and solution. Then yesterday, we worked on writing the introduction. How are we going to grab the reader's attention so that they want to read your story? And we talked about the 3 ways to do that. We could do it by starting with a sound like ah, or zap, or boom, or achoo, some kind of sound. We talked about using dialogue or having your characters talk at the beginning, like, "Did you see that?" John asked. We also talked about using your setting, and I just gave an example, "on a dark and stormy night." And that makes somebody want to say, "Oh, what's going to happen on that dark, stormy night?" So yesterday we wrote our introductions, and I got to work with several of you in Zoom on a class meeting, and I loved it. You guys were working so hard, and I said, okay, keep that because today we're going to go farther. So today we're going to finish the big part of your draft where it is your details and your problem and solution. Now, we don't want our story to just go from introduction to problem, solution, fun, the end. So we need to add some details in there. So remember Mrs. Morrow's story? I said my introduction was, where did it go? Surprise! Mallory opened her eyes and saw 5 of her best friends standing in front of her. They were holding 8 shiny balloons and a happy birthday banner. Hanging from the balloons was a huge stuffed lion and tickets for the San Diego Zoo. Now remember, I told you my problem is going to be at the zoo, the chimps are out of their cages. But would my story sound okay if I said right after hanging from the balloons was a huge stuffed animal or stuffed lion and tickets for the San Diego Zoo, the monkeys were out of their cages and causing chaos? You'd be like, what? What just happened? So I have to give some little events, some things that are going to happen before I get to my problem. So I might want to tell you about how Mallory and her friends got in the car. They drove to the zoo. When they got there, they went running through the gates, and all of a sudden, they noticed there were chimps everywhere, right? So now I've made sense of it because I've told you I've gotten there. I didn't just skip to it. Now I can tell you what those chimps are doing. So maybe I'm going to say they were throwing things around. They were taking people's water bottles. They were taking people's cameras. They were climbing up into the trees. They were causing all kinds of chaos. Now I can start talking about my solution, right? How's that chaos going to get fixed? So that's what you're going to do today. You're not writing the conclusion yet. You don't need the ending. We're just writing some events that happen before the problem. Then we're writing about our problem and solution. So I would say today you're probably going to be writing around 10 sentences maybe. So we're wanting to give details. We're wanting to pull that story out. We're wanting people to want to read what we have to say. And we're making it believable because it's a realistic fiction story. I cannot wait to hear these stories and see them. All right? Keep going on it. You know what you're working on today. Have a great one. Bye.